Hi, I'm Rob from We Keep You Cycling, and today the revolutionary pad from Swissstop, the Black Prince pad specifically designed for carbon rims. Swissstop has long been the industry leader in everything brake pads. They've partnered with some of the best wheel builders over the years to build and improve compounds for better stopping distances. Over those years, they've worked with Mavic, FSA, DT Swiss, Easton, and Lightweight, to name a few. With those partnerships, they have truly dominated compound technology and revolutionized what we expect to take place with a carbon rim. They don't just do this in the lab, they also sponsor Garmin and BMC pro teams to get pros' feedback. In the world of carbon brake pads, your de facto pad was the Yellow King. For years, it's been the go-to pad if you had a carbon braking surface. And the simple fact is, there isn't really anything on the market that stops better. Oddly enough, the pros' comments were, it stops so well, but we'd like to see an improvement in the modulation. Hence, the brand new Black Prince pad. The Swissstop Black Prince first debuted in the Tour de Suisse and then later in the 2012 Tour de France. The compound got rave feedback from the pros. The modulation was fantastic, and the brake performance on those very hairy switchbacks, noticeable, and the improvements were enough to seal the deal. Black Prince compound ready for sale. When they were designing the new compound, they had to go back to what they were doing from the basics. The Yellow King pad was always designed for carbon only, and the Black Prince had to perform more like what they were getting out of the GHP2 pad, but in a carbon-specific application. To that end, they did two key things to dramatically change the feel of the pad. First, modulation. The pad has a very linear feel, and it showed up dramatically in our testing. Secondly, and most importantly, is the pad temperature has been greatly reduced by a whopping 44%. Pad temperature is not something we normally think about, but the cooler the pad, the cooler the rim, the more braking performance you can put in to the two applications, pad touching rim, without running the risk of melting resin or damaging carbon. The result is better braking performance. To test the difference between Black Prince and Yellow King, we set up a grid. 20 miles an hour, panic stop, 5 times back to back. The idea? See if we can measure the stopping distance and the temperature difference. What was interesting was we could measure all of that, and the difference between the Black Prince and the Yellow King was noticeable, both in stopping distance and in temperature. The simple fact is, the Black Prince pad runs so much cooler that I couldn't get it to smoke. Oddly enough, with our back-to-back testing, I got the Yellow King pads to smoke, and they still smell a little smoky now. And for the years I've been riding, I've never been able to duplicate that in real world. So I think that gives you an example of how extreme our testing was. Another thing that showed up was the great improvement in modulation. The Yellow King has always felt just a tad squishy to me, but given me whopping amounts of brake performance, whereas the Black Prince was truly closer to an aluminum pad than I've experienced before. I'm Rob with We Keep You Cycling, and these are the brand new Swissstop Black Prince pads specifically designed for carbon rims. If you have any questions about these pads or any of the pads we carry, drop us a line or email us info@wekeepyoucycling.com.